down 17-3 at the Link against the Eagles, with the crowd going crazy, the pass rush flying, and me cheering him from my couch. Bo Nix proved he might be him. A few weeks ago, I had a video detailing Bo Nix against the Chargers, and he was bad. I'm sorry. He was missing touchdown passes. He looked shook, but Broncos fans, you the Broncos fans, defended Bo Nix. You said, in fact, he's going to show me that he's going to prove me wrong. And he went to the Link and he fucking showed me and proved me wrong. You guys got it, man. Bo Nix was getting popped all game. Sean Payton, rarely in this situation, but Sean Payton was in a bag. Nobody could get open. The crowd was locked in. But Bo Nix stuck with the plan, continued to run that offense, and they went out there and they had two huge scoring touchdown drives in the fourth quarter against a Super Bowl winning team on the road. And that's impressive stuff. On a short week as well, off of Monday night, that really could be a game for the Broncos that changes their trajectory. And Sean Payton believed in Bo Nix the entire time to deliver this kind of performance at some point. I hadn't seen it yet against a really good team. And then it happened against my team. And he just kept hitting every pass towards the end of that game. And it was impressive stuff. Not going to lie. Especially, and it was one of the easier passes he had, but just smoothly hitting that 2-point conversion, which we'll get into more. But that kind of changed the tenor of the game. And for me, Bo Nix, the other thing as well, Sean Payton said at halftime they were expecting a slowed down, physical game. Their defense is one of the best units in the league. And Bo Nix went out there and he did not give the game away. He didn't go out there. He didn't throw the picks that the Eagles have been feasting on. That one late pick that they have feasted on all season. He didn't have a crucial fumble. He didn't fold in the red zone. They went down there and scored touchdowns on both of those possessions. The Eagles have kept the Rams out of the end zone multiple times in that situation. They've stopped the Bucks. They got the Chiefs to throw a pick in the red zone. Their red zone defense has been stellar this season. And Bo Nix just cooked them in those opportunities. The clutch gene, all of that. He was not perfect. He did miss a couple bombs, but they were not as open as those Chargers ones. The Eagles defense was much closer. They weren't defensive breakdowns back there. They would have been tight passes, and I don't mind them overthrowing those because what they couldn't have, which is what they didn't have, was a Bo Nix pick. He's learning. He learned from week one, because sometimes you see when you work all offseason, we want to hit bigger plays. We want to go out there and be explosive. You've seen seasons where they start throwing picks and they're not able to stop. But that was impressive stuff for him to bounce back. Not bounce back, but really show they could beat a good team. They beat the Bengals last week. He looked good. It was definitely a fixer-upper performance. But that from Bo Nix showed a lot of grit, a lot of heart. He was getting popped, I'm telling you. All game he was getting hit. And he stayed in there, and he won the game. Impressive job, Bo Nix. And now you look, that division, they're right there. Sean Payton, masterclass from him coaching. He had nothing. Vic was ready for everything that the Broncos were going to do, and he just stayed with it. Kept running the ball. Didn't think the game was over, and we'll get to why the game wasn't over. But great job calling the plays out there. And once he found those comebacks, those back shoulders were there, spammed them, quick slants, spam, and then an occasional over the top. And he's doing this. Bo Nix might be good. Sutton is cool. He's not an explosive receiver, but he's cool. I think he's good. He's not a bum. But he finds a way to get Sutton open every game when they need it. And that was crucial. And Sean Payton, once he figured out what Vic was doing, he started cooking it. And again, 2 late touchdowns. The credit goes to obviously Bo Nix and obviously the play caller and Sean Payton. That's not something that the Eagles under Vic Fangio have normally let up. They've been a top defense. Now this year, the Eagles are 15th in defense as far as points per game. But in the red zone, they had been really good, like I said. And Sean found the cheese. Started cooking them. They even didn't run maybe as effectively as they thought they were going to. 80 yards total. They were 5th in the league rushing coming in. The Eagles were 21st. But Vic knew it. He said, guys, watch the run. They're going to keep running it. 20 rushes, 80 yards. That's not great. But Sean Payton Bo Nix played the game as it was when it was 17-3 and still closer than I think we all thought watching. And Sean Payton coached it, remembered his game plan. He did not waver. He didn't go pass happy, which a lot of teams normally do when they go down 2 scores. But he also he wasn't stagnant either. He continued to try to find what passing offense would work. And once he found it, that under center stuff, man, and they kept running, or a little back shoulder, and it was just cooking the Eagles. He just kept hitting the button. Just kept doing it, and it was impressive stuff. The Broncos defense, insane. Didn't let up a touchdown after the first possession of the third quarter. Bonito, I see on Twitter, it's popular to call him Von Miller. I can't completely disagree. He has 7 sacks, I believe. He had 2.5 in this game. Bonito was snapping. Surtain, he kind of had some troubles early, but he wasn't getting beat deep. And you saw as the game continued to play, he started making huge plays, guarding the slants, not letting up those big passes from the Eagles. And that defense, just 7 sacks. You don't see that happening a lot to the Eagles' offensive line. That defense is for real. And we saw a couple weeks ago, they hit Justin Herbert. They were popping him. They just couldn't come up with the win. He had some crazy throws, but Bonito was winning every battle then. He's doing it now. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league. And even with, by the way, Dre Greenlaw out, you would now have Bonito continues to establish himself as one of the best pass rushers, and you have Surtain as a cornerback, and it's a really deadly combo, and that's why right now they're 5th in the league in pass defense. Might have got a little statistically worse this game just because of the yards, but they're a really impressive unit. And it's definitely part of the reason Sean Payton said this is a Super Bowl unit. And they just defeated the reigning Super Bowl champs. Can't really argue with that. So right now, for Sean Payton and the Broncos, a huge win. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this team going forward. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do weekly videos for each team. So we have playlists directed to your team and the week in the description. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and most importantly, comment in that section. I'd love to talk to you guys about what you think about the videos, what could be improved, what I did right. Thank you again. Lumia Sports. Peace.